This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. So yesterday we have seen how to create the personal developer instance. So and then we started discussing about user administration. So and then we just started with the user administration, and we are going to discuss in detail about user administration today. So guys, in the ServiceNow platform, you will be majorly dealing with the users, groups, because using users and groups only, you will be doing your operations, if I should say. So you will be working as we will be working as teams, and then we'll be logging in as individuals. So in the organization, so we will be majorly having users and groups, and then we need to control the access as well. So access as well means, so we cannot grant access, admin access to all the employees, right? So if we grant admin access to all the employees, they will actually screw up. They will actually spoil the environment. So you will not grant admin access to all the employees. So service desk, for service desk people, you will provide one role. For management, you will provide one role. So likewise, you will actually control the accesses as well. Isn't it, guys?
Yes, yes. Can I share your screen?
Yeah, I haven't started teaching over the instance. Okay, yeah. So firstly, we'll discuss about user administration, and after that we'll be discussing what are users, groups, and then how they look like. Those things we will actually discuss now. So you can just log into your personal developer instance. Once you logged into your personal developer instance, you can just type user administration. So users. Suppose if you want to access this URL, you must be part of user table. You should have an account in the user table. So all these users can access this in ServiceNow instance. Okay. Now we'll go and we will discuss about groups. So we will discuss about fields on the user table. So here, this is actually user ID. User ID means this is the one which you use to log into. So this is the one which you usually use to log into. So let me just show you admin, right? Yesterday we had created an account. Yesterday we had created an account for Imran Syed, right?
Yes.
So what is the user ID for Imran Syed? So for me, in my case, yeah. So for me, it is actually system administrator. So let me just open the admin record. So here user ID is actually admin. First name is system. Last name is administrator. So what is the title? So which department he belongs to? So manager of this user. So if it needs password reset or not. If you have set up a password, if it needs password reset or not. So let us say if any user is doing something and you want to log out that session. So If you want to stop the operations in that session, what happens is that you can actually lock out. So even if you once he has logged in, even if you inactivate also, he will have an actually access to work for some time until the time he logged out. So immediately when you log out, right? So he will lose the access right away. You're able to understand lockout and active.
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, yes, yes.
Lockout means immediately he will be removed all the access. He cannot do anything. Active in the sense, so you will inactivate this one, but user session is active. He can do something till the time he logged out. Okay. So which city he belongs to. So if this user role is if the user that you have created is for integration user or not, you can actually select web services access only, internal integration user. So these are the two fields that I have created. So these are the two fields that I have created, whether this user is a contractor or not. So if he is a full-time employee or contractor employee, so that is why I have actually kept this field. So what is the email address of this one? So if you need multi-factor authentication, let us say we were using username and password, right? So after providing the username and password, you will have to enter password as well. So then you can enable multi-factor authentication. You understand what is multi-factor authentication?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Usually with the
Do you
mobile
guys know
number,
what is
receive the
multi-factor
password.
authentication? Yeah. So you will actually provide your username and password. After that, you will also have to provide the passcode as well. So that is actually second layer authentication. So in layman language, if we should talk about it. Clear? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which language you belong to? So in the system, so far we have actually English. So you can have multiple languages. So you can have Dutch, you can have French, so you can have Japanese, you can have Korean, you can have Chinese. So this instance can be translated in different languages as well. Just remember, guys, this instance can be translated in different languages as well. So we have I18 and internationalization plugin available to get the languages in your ServiceNow instance. So how do you get that? You will go to the plugins. In the plugins, you will actually look for I18 and internationalization plugin. Okay. So once you install that, you will be able to see other languages as well. Okay. So this is the new field that I have created. So what is the time zone that you want to see the time? So you will select the time zone here. So which date format do you want to follow? So you can actually follow the date format. Okay. So what is the phone number? Whether this user is VIP or not. So VIP VIP treatment will be different, guys. If he is VIP, the solutions, the issues should be resolved on priority. So if he is VIP or not, we will actually check using this flag. So which location he belongs to, what is the image of this user, and then what is the company that he is working. So everything you can actually have a track here, guys. Okay, everything you can actually have a track here. So when you scroll little down here, so you will be able to see four things here. Okay, so that part will come later, and once we discuss that one, we will discuss about roles. So this short keys I will let you know, guys. The short keys that I'm typing here, right? That I will let you know. So if we go ahead for one or two sessions, you will be able to understand how do we use the short keys. So these are the roles, guys. So admin role. The system administrator role. This role has access to all the system features, functions, and the data regardless of the security constraints. Grant this privilege carefully. If you have sensitive information such as HR record that you need to protect, you must create a custom admin role for that area, train a person authorized to see the records to act as an administration. So each area has different roles, guys. Let us say if you want only access to, if you want to grant only access to reports, so you can actually grant report related role. If you want to grant access to performance analytics, you can grant performance analytics related role. So if you want GRC related roles, so you can actually you can only specifically grant access to related to GRC. So likewise, what we can do is we can actually restrict the access what users can see. You are able to understand my points?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So now, guys, what I am going to do is I am going to take ITIL users, ITIL role. Okay. So can perform standard actions for the ITIL help desk technician. So this role is majorly will be given to the ITIL help desk technician. So these people can, what these people can see, what these people can do, you can actually see. This is an out-of-box technician role, can open, update, close incidents, problems, changes, configuration items. Out-of-box only users with ITIL role can have tasks assigned to them. So what ITIL role people does is that, guys, they will have the issues, they will have the incidents, problems, changes, configurations items. They will have it on their name. So they can raise incidents, they can update incidents, they can close incidents. That means, so do you guys all know that what does service desk people do? Do you
They
guys
will
know what
raise
service
alarm.
people do?
They will follow up with updates.
See,
Yeah, they
what?
will assign tickets to pop-up at teams and they will follow up tickets.
Yeah. See, the responsibility of service desk people is that they will have to resolve the issues. They will have to resolve the issues. See, consider, let me give you an example. You are using an iPad. You are using an iPad. All of a sudden, it got stopped working. It stopped working. Immediately, whom do you reach out? Do you reach out company or do you reach out service desk? So
Service desk.
you will have to reach out service desk. So what that service desk guys does is that they will actually raise a ticket for you, and then they will be working on the ticket. So that is what the service desk guys duty. So they will actually fix the issue with your iPad, and then they will give it to you that iPad, and they will close the ticket. So that is what they do. ITL people do. Okay. So ITL admin. So these guys, this role will have a few more privileges. So possesses more privileges than the ITL role and intended for team leads. This role has the ability to delete incidents, problems, changes, and other related entities. So this guy can delete the records. This guy can delete the records. These ITL people, they cannot delete the records. So likewise, so we can actually grant access to specific set of people to specific roles. So we can control the accesses using roles, guys. We can control the accesses using roles. Okay. So we have discussed about users. We have discussed about roles. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to create a new user here. Okay, consider whose name? Pawan. Pawan, your full name?
Kumar, Pawan Kumar.
Okay. So you have created a new user account. Okay. So always remember, guys, users with no role are called end users. Users with no role are called end users. So they will not have any role. So even though they don't have any role, they can access ServiceNow platform. Let me just start accessing this one. Okay, I'm just opening the incognito window. So okay, see here in all, what are all the things that we can see here? What are all the things we can see here? So we can see very few modules here. We can see very few modules. So user with the end users with no role, they cannot see all the modules, all the applications. Okay, so they cannot see all the modules, all the applications. So only they can see is very few things they can see. So ideas they can see, skills they can see. Okay, so users with no role, they can see only limited modules and applications. Okay, and then when you scroll little down here, so here you have an ability to add a role to the user. So here in the related list in the user record, if you scroll little down, here you have an ability to add the role here. So what role you want to give? ITIL role. You have provided ITIL role to Pawan. So if I go and access Pawan profile again, so if I go and access Pawan profile again, do you guys think I'll get extra privileges? No, because we have to log out and log in. Only then the role which is added will get reflected. See here. They are still not added. Yes, please go on mute. Role is still not added. Did we add role to the Pawan or did we add role to someone? So we added role to the Pawan, right? This is taking a bit time to reflect the changes here. Yeah, this time we have got the special ITIL role privileges. See here, we can access incident, we can access problem, change, agent development, CMDB workspace, and then so we can see some extra modules apart from end user perspective. So end user was able to access limited things. Now ITIL user can access few more modules. So ITIL user can access a few more modules. So likewise, so we can actually restrict access based on the roles. Okay. So here we have actually added role here. So let us say if you want to grant extra permission that are related to GRC, governance and risk compliance. So let me just grant access to agent workspace. So agent admin or agent workspace user. So I'm granting access to this one. So this guy will actually get the permissions regarding agent workspace. So we have provided agent workspace access to him. So likewise, you can actually limit, we can actually grant the access to the users. But here you guys have to remember one thing. Adding role to the user is not a best practice. Adding role to the user is not a best practice. You guys can ask me what is best practice. Okay, so we have groups concept. So every organization you can see people will be working as teams. People will be working as teams. Do you agree?
Yes.
So for every team, they will actually create a group. For every team, they will actually create a group. How do they create the group? Let me just show you. So in the left navigation, you can just navigate to groups. So under user administration, you will find groups. So let us say, yours is ServiceNow code reviewers team. So ServiceNow code reviewers team. So what these guys does is that these guys will actually review the code that you have written. Okay, these guys will actually review the script that you have written. So why do they review is that in the future there should not be any issues with the script that you have written. So what the script that you have written might be working fine now. It might impact in future as well. So to avoid that, we will actually there is a team that will be reviewing your code. So that is why ServiceNow code reviewers group is there. There is a separate team for code review. So then we are actually creating a code reviewers group here. So who is the manager of this one? I'm actually keeping able tutor. Okay, group email address you can keep. Okay, I'm just saving this one. Here also you can see, you can add a role to the group as well. You can add a role to the group as well. So one thing that you need to remember, you can add a role to the group as well. So we have added role to the user. So user is able to access those things. So here, if I add a role to the group, if I add a role to the group, I'm just saving this one. So I have added a role to the group. So guys, why am I telling that adding a role to the group is actually best practice? Because you will actually add user to the group. So you will be added to the group. So that what exactly will happen is that the role will automatically come to the user who has been added here. So if you are adding able tutor here, or if you are adding someone else here, so if you are adding Acme employee here, so Acme employee will have ITIL role. Acme employee will have ITIL role because Acme employee is part of this group. So the role will be automatically come to this user. Okay. So rather than going to the individual users, adding role to the individuals, what we can do is we can actually create a group. We can add that user to that group. Is there any confusion, or are you guys able to catch it? Hello. Sorry.
We are good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So adding role to the user is not actually a best practice. Adding role to the group is actually a best practice, because here you will add role one time, and then whenever any new person joined in your team, you will be adding that person in this group, so that he will be getting the roles automatically. So Alina Motan has recently joined in our team. So Alina Motan is added to this group. she will have the ITL permission automatically. Okay, so let us say Alina Motran left the organization. Immediately, this group manager will actually remove this user from this group. Okay, so Alina Motran is removed. So once you remove that, right, Alina Motran, the roles will be automatically deleted for her. Roles will be removed for her. So now you guys can tell me, is it best practice to add a role to the user?
No.
Oh,
So why is that?
So whenever the user is, he left from the company, so then you have to log in user account and remove the rules. But here it's not necessary to remove every
Group manager will
role
take care of
for
it.
the user. Yes.
Group manager will take care of it, all those things. So here we have to be very precautious because ServiceNow will charge us based on the roles that we are using. Even though he left the organization, if the user has that role, ServiceNow will actually count that as user has this role. Okay. So how many licenses are being used? How many ITIL licenses are being used? So based on the licenses that we use, right, ServiceNow will actually charge us. Okay. That is actually calls under that actually calls under license management. Okay.
Here one question is there. So users can be in different groups
Yeah.
for different role.
Yeah. So users can be part of different groups. So let us say you are the user. Suresh is the user. Suresh can be part of multiple groups. Suresh can be part of multiple groups. So now I am going to add Akhil, Alan, Rabek. I'm actually adding these users to okay. So who are all the users that are added? So Akhil, Madhur, Alan, Rebek, right? So I am going to add them. I'm going to add them in different groups as well. So IT finance cap, this is the group I'm actually opening. So in the finance group cap, I'm actually adding those members again. So this group has no role. See, Alan Rabak is part of these groups. See, if I open Alan Rabak user record here, so Alan Rabak, if I open Alan Rabak record here, so here you can see how many groups Alan Rabak is part of. Alan Rabak is part of ServiceNow Code Reviewers group. Alan Rabak is actually part of Code Reviewers group. Guys, please go on mute.
ఇదైతే అలవాటు అవుతున్నారు కొంచెం అడ్జస్ట్ చేసి పెట్టేశారు.
Just a minute, guys. You went on mute, huh? Guys, I will remove the one who are actually unmuting and speaking, guys. Okay. So if you are not speaking, please stay on mute. So here, if I open Alan Robeck record, if I open Alan Robeck record, here, this is the Alan Robeck record from the user table. This is the user ID, this is the email, first name, last name. We all have discussed. And now if we scroll a little down, so here we can actually add roles to this user. So here you can actually identify how many groups where Alan Robeck is part of. So here you can see Alan Robeck is part of developers team. Alan Robeck is part of IT finance CAB team. Alan Robeck is part of ServiceNow administrators team. And so there is one group which is actually with no name. So he's part of ServiceNow code reviewers team as well. Okay. So here in the user table, you can see how many groups he is actually part of. Okay. Understand? So we can add role to the group, and then once you add a member to this group, the role will be automatically added to this user. So go guys, till here you guys are good, right? I'm going to go in depth now. I'm going to go in detail. If you guys are clear, we can actually move forward. Hello?
Can you quickly show me how to create the group? Yeah, please.
So you want me to explain how to create the group?
Please, yeah.
In the left navigation, you will go to the, you will just type user administration. Under the user administration, you will find a module called groups. If you open that module, you will be able to see something like this. You can just click on new, where you will have to provide the group name and who will handle the group, the manager of the group and the group email address. And you must provide the description. This is also one of the best practice. Why are we using this group? So, so it should be in detail, right? So you need to provide the description as well. So never leave this blank, guys, because this is one of the ServiceNow best practice. We should have an understanding on what we are doing with this. Okay. So once you have provided all these details, you will be able to see the related list. These are actually called related lists. You will be able to see something like this. So this is actually roles, group members, groups, and here you can see visibility domains. Okay.
Yeah. So how we get the requirement for all the details? So if some user is shared to groups, so how we will get the details? So who is the manager? What is the role you have to assign? And what details we have to fill in.
You don't get any requirement on this part, because so what exactly will happen is that, so in the group table, so in the groups, you will be your manager will take care of this group. Okay, so whatever the group that we are seeing, right? So that group part will be taken care by Abraham Lincoln. So Abraham Lincoln will be handling this group. So whenever a person has joined in his team, he will actually add that person to this group members records, and then the role which he has given already, right? The role will be granted to this user who has been added newly. So adding role to the groups, those things will be taken care by this one, managers. So your user account creation will be taken care by this team, HR team. So now you guys can ask me, what is my responsibility? Being a ServiceNow administrator, you yourself can create user records, you yourself can create group records, you yourself can add users to the groups. So you can do all this stuff. So in the user records, sometimes you might get wrong data due to small mistake. You might get wrong data in the user table. Immediately you have to fix it. let us say, in place of name, they have actually provided email address. So email, name has come here, email has come here. So we need to alter these things. So we need to change these things. We need to keep email in the email, name in the name. Understand? So if it is 1 record or 2 records or 10 records, we can do it manually. If it is 1,000 records, if it is 1 lakh records, if it is 10,000 records, so what do? We will write a query, and then we will build a logic, and then we will alter these two things. We will keep name here, we will keep email here. Understand? Understand, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and moreover, so you might be getting requirements, something like that. Create a new field on this user table. So on the user form, create a new field. So let us say this is the field that I have created. So this is the new field that I have created. So they might be asking you to do some stuff like add some information message on this record on the window. So they will be giving you requirement as such. You guys got idea. So guys, no worries. In the long run, you will be understanding what are you going to do in detail. No, you don't have to worry about it. I'm confidently telling you that you guys will clearly understand what are you going to do. Okay. So now we have seen users, and in the users, adding role to the users, and we have seen groups, adding role to the groups, and adding users to the group also we have seen. Now what are we going to do is, here in the left navigation, we can see user roles and group roles. These are two important things that you need to remember. User roles, group roles. So what are these things? What are these user roles? What are these group roles? So guys, whenever you add a role to the user, let us say whenever you are adding a role to the user, immediately a record will be created in the user roles table. Immediately a record will be created in the user roles table. Whenever you add a role to the user, immediately a record will be created in the user roles table. Let me just show you. I am going to add ITIL admin role here. Okay, so you have added role to the Pawan, right? So now you can see whether a record is created in this table or not. See, Pawan Kumar ITIL admin role active. So as soon as you add a role to the user, a record will be created in the user roles table. Okay. As soon as you add a role to the group, so for this group I'm actually adding ITIL role. Okay. So these are actually group roles. See, a role has been just created. IT finance cap ITIL role. So that is what we had actually granted, right? So a record will be created in the group roles table. Here, whenever you add a role to the user, a role will be created in the user roles table. Whenever you add a role to the group, a group roles record will be created. Okay, you guys are able to understand? Hello?
Yeah, Uday.
You guys are able to understand? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why do we use this user roles? Why there will be a record getting created? Why it is creating a record in the user roles table whenever you add a role to the user? You guys can ask me. You guys can ask me. So guys, whenever you add a role to the user, right? If you have added or not, we need to check. Where do we need to check? We need to check the user roles table. So let us say you need to track everything, right? Whether you have added user to the group or not. So to identify whether there is a record or not, we need to go for user roles table. So user roles table only you can actually identify. So okay, Pawan Kumar has been added ITIL role. So here in the group, this group has been added ITIL role. So you can actually have a track. So whether a role is added to the group or not in the group roles table. So here in the user roles table, we can actually have a track whether a role is added to a specific person or not. So this user roles table and group roles table is important, guys. Just you guys have keep an eye on these tables. And now we come to the group member table. Group member table. So whenever you add a user to the group, immediately a record will be created in the group member table. Okay, so I'll just open that group member table as well. So all this so these are the group members tables. So the group member records. See, whenever you add a user to the group, immediately it will create a record in the group members table. It will create a record in the group members table. Okay, whenever you add a role to the user, a user role will be created. Whenever you add a role to the group role will be created. Whenever you add a user to the group, a record will be created in the group members table. Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to an individual user record. So consider Alan Robeck. Alan Robeck is an individual user record. So where if you go to the delegates, so roles, groups we have seen, right? If you go to the delegates, so what is exactly delegation? What is exactly delegation? So delegation is something like if Alan is on leave. Alan is actually an important person. So Alan is on leave for 15 days, or Alan is leave on for 7 days. So Alan is actually an important person. His responsibilities are very important. So he will be getting meeting invites, he will be getting approvals, he will be getting notifications, he will be getting tasks, all these things. But if he is on leave for 1 week or 2 weeks, so there will be a delay in the delivery of the project, right? So what he does is that, so while he is going on leave, he will actually delegate his roles and responsibilities to someone. He will actually give that roles and responsibilities to, that means indirectly he is actually giving the permission, whatever the permissions that he has, right? That permissions to Abraham Lincoln. So what time to what time? So he is on leave for 2 weeks, right? So from the time 6th June to 21st 6th June. No. Okay. All the approvals, all the assignments, all the notifications, all the meeting invitations. So who will be getting? Abraham Lincoln will be getting, because Alan Rabeck will be on leave from today onwards till 21st. He will not be available. Whatever Alan Rabeck receives the notifications, emails, assignments, and meeting invitations will be sent to Abraham Lincoln. So Abraham Lincoln is actually taking care of Alan responsibilities. So you are able to understand what is delegation? Are you able to understand, guys, what is delegation?
This is assigned by the user, right? Not by the administrator, correct?
Yeah, not by the administration. This is assigned by the user.
User himself. Let us assume that he is assigning a delegate. Yeah, so when he is going on leave, that means that he still can access all his credentials, right?
Yeah, he can access. He can access. Only thing that he is doing is that he is actually providing delegation on behalf of in the absence of his presence. He is actually delegating his roles to that person.
Yeah, good. But still he can access whatever he
Yeah,
wants.
still he can access. Still he can access.
Thank you.
So they must have a specific role to delegate to create a delegation. Okay. So here in the roles table, if you go roles here, so for delegation there will be a separate role. Delegated developer. Yeah, here you go, role delegator. So they must have this role, can delegate roles to the group members. So here this role delegator is the role one must have to create a delegate record. Understand?
Yes.
So do you guys have any questions for today's sessions, guys?
No.
Yeah, that time period. So whenever the delegates his roles and responsibilities, that approvals, notifications, he can't get, right? That time period.
The time period, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the time period On behalf of him, the meeting invites will be sent to the delegated person.
But we
whom you-
can't get, yes, exactly. But we can't get any references of those.
So, I mean, is it something like the person who has actually delegated the roles will be on loop, or he will be,
Yes,
he
yes,
will
exactly.
be
Yeah,
having any
yeah,
heads up, something like that? Yeah,
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
he will have.
Oh, so loop will be active.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
got it.
he need to understand, right, what exactly has been done over the time.
Yes,
He was
yes,
not there.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
after his joining, so he should understand what happened last
What has
6
happened,
days.
everything they can
Yeah,
actually track.
yeah, yes.
Is there any super user other than the user for delegating this one?
I couldn't get you, Naveen.
For
Could you
example, like earlier you mentioned that this delegation has to be done by the user himself, yeah?
Yeah.
Let us assume that a specific person met an accident and he could not able to access at that point of time. So somebody has to delegate his role to someone.
Yeah, admins can delegate.
So admin still can override it, correct?
Yeah, admins still can override it. See, admins are super users.
Okay.
Admins are super users. Admins can do all the things apart from one thing. So I am going to show you that one as well now. So admins will have permission to all the features in the ServiceNow platform except one. So that is actually let me just show you that. So this elevate role. So this is actually more than admin role. So even admins cannot actually work on few things like access control list, ACLs. See here, admins cannot see create or new. If you open this one, you won't be able to edit this one. You are not able to edit this one as well. So user with the elevate role, that is actually security admin role, what they can do is they can actually create new access controls. See, now you can see new. If you refresh this one, you can now see you can actually edit this one as well now. So even admins will not have some permissions. They must have elevate roles. So once they get the elevate roles, they can actually work on that part. Okay.
Thank you.
So anything else that you want to discuss, guys? Okay, guys. If we have no doubts, we can actually wrap it up for today. And happy Sunday.
Uday, actually, I tried to reach you yesterday for recording last 2 days demo class recording.
Okay, okay. Just ping me, Prakash. So I'll add you on the group. So I'm actually sharing the recording over the group. So you can actually find it there.
But I am not in group, so
So yeah,
can I?
just ping me on WhatsApp.
Mhm.
I'll save your contact and mail books and then add you on the group.
Yeah, already I pinged you.
Yeah, there is no class tomorrow, Sham. So okay, I have so many contacts here, Prakash. Uh, can you please, if you don't mind, can you please ping me one more time? Got it. Okay, I'll be sharing the recordings with you.
Add me too.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys, we'll see you on Monday. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Bye, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.